not buying, get lost. The two of them spent the whole day at the mall, where they only ordered 2 milk teas and spent over 100 yuan on a hot pot meal. On the way back, Song Yunfei noticed that Chu Jinan had grown even more silent, as if he was preoccupied with something. What's wrong? Are you feeling unwell? Song Yunfei inquired. Chu Jinan shook his head. It's nothing, I'm just a bit tired. Then rest early tonight. MHM. Perhaps because Wang Yi was about to leave, the gaming from next door had become rather frequent these past few days. Midnight was one thing, but at 2 or 3 in the morning, it could still wake Song Yunfei up. She didn't know if Chu Jinan was awake, but Song Yunfei was certainly roused. Once awake, she would stare blankly at the pitch-black ceiling, not daring to make the slightest sound. Soon, Monday arrived. Song Yunfei was back to her daily routine of making phone calls and handing out flyers. However, today, as soon as she sat down at her desk, Xiu Shuang arrived right behind her. Little Song, have you had breakfast? Song Yunfei looked up and saw a bag of breakfast in her hand, wondering if it was for her. She smiled. I've already eaten. All right, then this is for you. Xiu Shuang placed another cup of coffee on her desk and explained, I bought it on the way, it was buy one get one free. Thank you. Song Yunfei didn't refuse and accepted the coffee. Xiu Shuang smiled, no need to thank me, it's me who should be thanking you. Song Yunfei knew she was referring to last Saturday, when Chu Jinan had helped her by beating up Wu Wei. It was nothing, why be so polite? Remembering the gossip she'd overheard the other day, she curiously asked Xiu Shuang, how long have you been here? Xiu Shuang said, I've been here for half a year. That's quite a while. Xiu Shuang sighed, yeah, but there's a high turnover in our line of work. Besides Sister Li and Li Shan, none of the others have been here long. Song Yunfei was somewhat aware of this point. Because there was only a guaranteed base salary for the first 3 months, after that, there was nothing. Many people come, fail to sell a single property in 3 months, and can't bear to stay, so they leave. Of course, you could choose not to leave, but then you'd have no income. If Song Yunfei didn't sell a house within 3 months, she would probably consider resigning too. You're pretty impressive then, lasting half a year. You must have sold a property, right? Hearing this, Xiu Shuang's expression became somewhat uneasy. She nodded, MHM, I only sold one second-hand property. Being able to sell anything at all is impressive. However, Xiu Shuang didn't want to continue the conversation. She forced a smile and turned back to her own workstation. This Xiu Shuang was also somewhat attractive, the type who was neither top tier nor bottom tier, and her personality seemed a bit introverted. Most likely, she had been brainwashed by that scoundrel manager Zhang Tao. On her first day of work, manager Zhang Tao had also hinted at her, but seeing she wasn't receptive, he stopped mentioning it afterward. Today was Monday, and it was a terrible day for Song Yunfei. Half of the people on today's call list were unfriendly. Not buying, get lost. Buy my ass, stop calling. Add me as a friend, show me your legs. Quote. Hanging up the phone, Song Yunfei ended this awful day. She stretched, glanced at the time, it was only 6 o'clock. Chu Jinan had just gotten off work, she still had to wait half an hour. They had agreed in the morning that Chu Jinan would pick her up after work, and then they would go deliver food on the way. Xiu Shuang walked over and asked, Little Song, are you getting off work? Song Yunfei looked at her, oh, you go ahead. I'll leave a bit later. Okay. Without saying more, Xiu Shuang turned and left the sales office. With nothing else to do, Song Yunfei took out her notebook to study the potential clients she had noted down over the past few days, seeing which ones she could follow up with again. On the other side, Chu Jinan was just about to get off work when the boss suddenly came to the office and called out to those preparing to leave. Hold on, everyone, let's have a meeting. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone sighed and complained. Why did they always like to hold meetings right after work? After everyone gathered in the meeting room, this time, Boss He didn't give a long-winded speech. He directly asked, "Let me ask, does anyone here know German or French?" Everyone looked at each other. Hu Yao asked, "Boss He, don't we only focus on the Japanese, English, and American markets? No one here knows German, right?" The boss sighed, "There's an exhibition in a few days, and there will be Germans attending." Actually, it was also because the factory's performance had been poor recently. Boss He wanted to explore overseas markets. Initially, it was because the domestic market was too competitive that they shifted focus abroad. Now, more than half of their orders came from overseas. But now, even foreign trade was becoming fiercely competitive. They could only try to develop more channels. This exhibition was a great opportunity, which was why Boss He wanted someone who knew another foreign language. Moreover, he had already started recruiting a month ago but hadn't found anyone. People who knew German were too few. Even if there were, their salary expectations weren't low. Even if the offered salary was sufficient, they might not be interested in such a small factory. With the exhibition only a couple of days away, Boss He could only try a long shot. If it really didn't work out, he would have to give up on the German market. Or, if any of you know someone who speaks German and can introduce them to the company, that's fine too. I can give you a referral fee. Everyone seemed somewhat tempted. Someone asked, "Boss He, what about someone who knows Korean?" Boss He shook his head, "No, it has to be German. We can find Korean speakers ourselves in the factory. Besides, at the exhibition, there will be many manufacturers with Korean speakers, we wouldn't have an advantage." He had already investigated other manufacturers. Currently, the biggest advantage would be having German speakers. "Don't know anyone." Someone else muttered quietly, "If I knew a friend who spoke German, would I still be working in this dump?" Seeing everyone shake their heads and sigh, Boss He couldn't help but feel disappointed. He suddenly looked at the silent Chu Jinan. "Little Chu, I remember your previous resume mentioned knowing several foreign languages. Do you know any?" However, it had been too long, and Boss He couldn't remember which languages were listed on his resume. Everyone also turned their eyes toward him. Chu Jinan glanced at Boss He, hesitated for a moment, and said, "I don't know." Boss He was taken aback. "What do you mean, don't know?" Chu Jinan said, "I'm not sure myself." His resume had been created by Song Yunfei. After all, he had amnesia. How could he remember his own resume? So he couldn't recall it either. This left Boss He utterly confused. Boss He fell silent for a second, then immediately instructed the HR department to bring over Chu Jinan's file. After reviewing Chu Jinan's information again, Boss He's eyes became somewhat feverish. Chapter 21. Not buying, get lost. Chapter 22. Not a total bastard either. If it wasn't a forgery, then he had truly picked up a treasure. It should be mentioned that their factory didn't conduct background checks. During interviews, they would only ask about business-related matters. For a position like Chu Jinan's, as long as his foreign language skills were up to par, there was no need for an investigation. After all, small factories had a hard time recruiting people. At the time, they only tested him on English and Japanese, and he passed both. Consequently, Mr. He dismissed the others and kept Chu Jinan behind. Mr. He stood up and plopped down next to Chu Jinan, an eager smile on his face. "Little Chu, did you really study abroad in England and France?" Previously, Mr. He hadn't taken it seriously. He had always thought half the resume was forged and had only kept Chu Jinan because he spoke foreign languages fluently. Chu Jinan shifted to the side to distance himself from Mr. He. "Yes. Mr. He flashed a row of big yellow teeth. Say a few words in German for me to hear. Chu Jinan paused for 2 seconds. Den Moonsit aus, als Word man kak essen. Mister. He obviously didn't understand, but he was shocked by the German that Chu Jinan suddenly blurted out. He gave Chu Jinan a thumbs up. Not bad, not bad. I knew I didn't misjudge you, kid. Mister. He patted his shoulder, curious. By the way, how did a kid like you end up in our factory? Chu Jinan. Perhaps it's fate. Mister. He laughed. Good, good. Little Chu, you'll come with me to this exhibition. If we can successfully secure clients this time, you'll be in charge of the German market from now on. I'll give you a base salary of 5,000, with commissions calculated separately. Chu Jinan's heart stirred slightly, and he nodded. All right. The heavyweight in Mr. His heart finally lifted, but not entirely. This was a national garment exhibition, and many famous large factories were attending, far beyond what a small factory like theirs could compete with. He was still a bit worried about whether Chu Jinan could secure a few German clients. They had no hope for other countries as they certainly couldn't compete with those large factories, only Germany offered a glimmer of hope. Mister. He didn't want to think too much more and patted Chu Jinan's shoulder again. Come on, I'll treat you to a big meal tonight. Chu Jinan politely declined. No, Mister. I still have to pick up my girlfriend. Mister. His brow furrowed immediately. That girlfriend of yours who checks in on you every 10 minutes on average. Chu Jinan didn't speak, which was taken as silent admission. Mister. He shook his head and sighed. You, although it's your private matter and I shouldn't say much. But I still have to advise here, focus on your work. A man needs to have money. Without money, no matter how well you treat her, she'll leave sooner or later. Even if she hasn't left yet, it's only because she hasn't met someone better. Back then, I went through the same thing. Once Mister. He started talking, he couldn't stop and began recounting his years as a simp. Chu Jinan listened expressionlessly. After Mister. He finished, he summarized, when a man has no money, even dogs despise him. But Chu Jinan remained expressionless. Mister. He, at a loss, waved his hand. Fine, you can get off work now. The meeting had lasted over half an hour, and it was already 7 o'clock. The sky had already turned dark. Song Yunfei picked up her phone and looked at it, wondering if he was still working overtime. After thinking about it, she sent a message to Chu Jinan. If he was still working overtime, she would just take the bus back herself. 5 minutes after sending the message, Chu Jinan still hadn't replied. She stood up and left the sales office. Just as she stepped out, she encountered a man wearing a floral shirt. He blocked Song Yunfei's path and asked with a smile, Hey beauty, why are you just getting off work now? Song Yunfei looked at the man. He had average looks and seemed a bit familiar, but she couldn't quite place him. The man said, Don't you recognize me? Song Yunfei was still puzzled. And you are? The man pulled a business card from his pocket and smiled. You gave me a business card before, remember? Song Yunfei suddenly remembered. This was the man who drove the Porsche from before. Oh, it's you. Are you here so late to look at houses? The man said, Yeah, didn't I say so? I want to buy a house. Why don't you give me an introduction? Right now, she was the only one in the shop who hadn't left, except for manager Zhang Tao who was still in the office. Song Yunfei felt that this man didn't seem like a good person, but since he was here to look at houses, she couldn't turn him away. She made a gesturing motion and led him to the sand table model. She took out a brochure and began introducing the property development to the man. But the man's attention was clearly not on the house. His gaze was glued to Song Yunfei's face. His eyes constantly swept over her face, neck, and chest. He chimed in from time to time, Miss Song, it must be quite hard working overtime so late, isn't it? Are you single? Do you have a boyfriend? Thank you for your concern, but I have a boyfriend. Song Yunfei smiled politely and continued, "The balcony of this layout faces south, and..." The man walked up to her, almost pressing against Song Yunfei. He smiled and interrupted Song Yunfei, "They all look about the same to me. Why don't I treat you to dinner? We can find a place to sit down, and you can give me a detailed introduction then." Song Yunfei's brow furrowed, and she took a step to the side to create distance. "Sir, if you want to look at houses, I can continue the introduction. If you're not buying, then I'm going to head home." Seeing her firm attitude, the man's smile vanished. "Isn't your line of work all about selling more houses? Come have dinner with me, and I'll come sign the contract tomorrow. Full payment, how about that?" Song Yunfei's expression turned sour. There were always people in this world who thought they were superior just because they had a few coins in their pockets. But before she could speak, Manager Zhang Tao's office door opened. Manager Zhang Tao saw the tension between the two at a glance. Although he encouraged female employees to achieve high performance, he didn't force them, it was entirely voluntary. Because he didn't want any trouble, he feared that if he didn't show up now, something might actually happen. "Little Song, not off work yet?" Manager Zhang Tao quickly approached them and said with a chuckle to the man in the floral shirt, "Sir, are you interested in our property? I'm the manager here, Manager Zhang Tao. You can talk to me about any needs you have." "She's a newcomer and hasn't even memorized all the properties yet, she won't be able to satisfy you. Little Song, you go ahead and get off work. I'll take care of this gentleman." Song Yunfei felt like she had been granted a great reprieve. It seemed Manager Zhang Tao wasn't a total bastard after all. "All right, manager." With that, she immediately grabbed her things and left work. The man in the floral shirt glanced at Manager Zhang Tao and left, clearly annoyed. Manager Zhang Tao spat, another one acting like a big shot. "If you want to pick up girls, at least pay the deposit first. Beauty Song, why run so fast? I just want to take you out for a meal and make a friend. I won't eat you." Song Yunfei just happened to reach the roadside, where the man's Porsche was parked. He patted the hood of the car, pride and a sense of superiority in his eyes. "How about I drive you back? Where do you live?" "Thank you, but no thanks." The man's face darkened, but he didn't continue to harass her. Having been rebuffed repeatedly, he was starting to lose face. He muttered a curse under his breath, turned around, and got back into his Porsche. Song Yunfei breathed a sigh of relief as she watched him leave. But as she turned her head, she saw Chu Jinan standing by an electric scooter not far away. He was watching her quietly. Chapter 23. Are you really mad? Under the street lamp, his faded, pale shirt was strikingly noticeable. The light fell upon him, forming a halo-like glow that made his entire figure seem dreamlike and illusory. Song Yunfei quickly walked over. "I thought you were working overtime. You didn't reply to my message either." Chu Jinan shifted his gaze from the receding Porsche and let it settle on Song Yunfei's face. "I was riding my bike. I didn't notice." Noticing his line of sight and fearing he might overthink it, Song Yunfei explained, "I was already planning to take the bus back myself. I didn't expect some troublemaker to suddenly show up." A flicker passed through Chu Jinan's gaze. The one driving the Porsche. Strangely enough, he had never made a point of learning about cars, yet he could recognize their emblems at a glance. It was the same with foreign languages. He didn't know if he could speak them, but when he thought of a certain phrase, it would come out naturally. This feeling was bizarre. Song Yunfei nodded. "Yeah, he even wanted to take me out to eat. People like that are clearly no good from the get-go, so full of themselves." Chu Jinan said, "Then you should quit your job. There will only be more people like that in the future." For a moment, Song Yunfei couldn't tell if he was mocking her or genuinely suggesting she quit, because his expression was far too inscrutable. After a moment's thought, she asked, "If I don't work, what would I do?" Chu Jinan replied, go back to doing whatever you did before. Now Song Yunfei was certain he was genuinely suggesting she quit her job. She stepped onto the back seat of the electric scooter. I'd just rot away. Better to keep working. Let's go. Time to head home. Chu Jinan also swung his leg over and straddled the scooter, slowly setting off. He spoke from the front. We had an impromptu meeting right before the end of my shift. He briefly explained the exhibition matter to Song Yunfei. Hearing that he got a raise, Song Yunfei couldn't help but feel delighted. Really, that's great. So, where is this exhibition? It's in Haishi. Song Yunfei didn't know where Haishi was either. Probably not far, but as long as it wasn't C-City, it was fine. Are you confident about it? Chu Jinan shook his head. I don't know. Our booth location isn't great. For a small factory like theirs, securing a spot at the exhibition was already an achievement in itself. Hoping for a prime location was out of the question. Gripping a corner of his shirt, Song Yunfei encouraged him, I believe in you. You can definitely do it. So what if the location isn't great? Gold shines wherever it is. Since you got a raise, why don't we eat out today to celebrate? Chu Jinan didn't respond, just silently rode the scooter, taking her to the designated place. Song Yunfei didn't pick any fancy restaurant either, just found a small eatery not far from their residential area. This was their most frequented spot, mainly because the food was good and the place was clean. Only a husband and wife pair ran the shop, and they bought all the ingredients themselves from the market. Being regulars, the proprietress smiled broadly upon seeing them. You're here, have a seat. What would you like to eat? Song Yunfei picked up the menu and ordered 3 dishes, stir-fried greens, scrambled eggs with tomatoes, and shredded potato with chili and vinegar. A strange look crossed Chu Jinan's face. Wasn't this supposed to be a celebration? Why are they all vegetarian dishes? Song Yunfei said, isn't scrambled eggs with tomatoes a meat dish? Chu Jinan was left speechless. The proprietress chimed in with a smile, that just shows your girlfriend knows how to live practically. I'm guessing you two must be planning to get married soon, right? Her words made both of them freeze for a second. Song Yunfei found it somewhat amusing. Proprietress, how can you tell? Wearing the expression of someone who had been there, the proprietress said, young couples who've just started dating spend money lavishly. But when you see a couple who's frugal and saves, they've definitely been together a long time and are saving up to get married. You two have been together quite a while, haven't you? Her reasoning wasn't exactly wrong. But Song Yunfei's motivation was simply to save money for the rent. Chu Jinan got paid on the 7th, but rent was due on the 1st. She didn't want to be hounded by the landlord every day. Chu Jinan remained silent. He glanced at Song Yunfei, lost in quiet thought. Song Yunfei gave an awkward laugh, offering a weak, unconvincing reply, yeah, it's been a while. Even with 3 vegetarian dishes, it was still less economical than eating at home. Making these dishes herself would cost at most 10 yuan. At the restaurant, it was over 30 yuan. After dinner, they went back. With no other plans, Chu Jinan went out to do food delivery. Song Yunfei took a shower and started scrolling through short videos. Who knows what the original owner had been watching before? The videos recommended to her were all inspirational fluff. Things like, women must learn to love themselves first. How terrifying female awakening can be. You must fight for what you want. If you don't strive and compete, you're destined to live at the bottom your whole life. The means don't matter, only the result does. How a certain fake socialite successfully married into a wealthy family and gained billions in assets, relying on just these 3 tactics. You can tell if he loves you from these few points. 9 out of 10 videos were this kind of nonsense, and the 10th one was borderline inappropriate. It almost depressed Song Yunfei. Coincidentally, Chu Jinan finished his deliveries early today. The moment he pushed the door open and entered, he heard Stay away from poor men when dating. Don't be tempted by how good he is to you, because besides being good to you, he has nothing else to keep you. A poor man's love is the cheapest thing. He froze right there in the doorway, one hand still holding his scooter helmet, the other holding a cup of milk tea. Song Yunfei was startled and hurriedly swiped down, trying to get past that video. Sisters, we need to stay away from poor men. The scariest thing about a poor man isn't an empty wallet, it's poverty of the spirit. And he'll constantly drain you. Flustered, it took Song Yunfei a good while to finally close the video. She looked awkwardly at Chu Jinan standing at the door, feeling utterly like she wanted to cry but had no tears. Damn that original owner, what on earth was she watching? It's going to be the death of me. She forced a smile that was uglier than a frown. You're back. Without a word, Chu Jinan walked inside, placed the milk tea on the table, and headed for the bathroom. I'm going to take a shower. Watching his despondent figure, Song Yunfei really wanted to slap herself twice. Why did I have to scroll through videos? Wouldn't sleeping have been better? She quickly got out of bed, took a sip of the milk tea on the table to calm her nerves. Then she went to wait by the bathroom door for Chu Jinan to come out. After about 10 minutes, Chu Jinan emerged. Song Yunfei put on a bright smile. The milk tea is really good. Thank you. Drying his hair, Chu Jinan went to sit on the sofa. I'll sleep here tonight. You should get some rest early. Really? Song Yunfei felt a flicker of joy, but seeing the depth in his eyes, she quickly wiped the expression from her face. She walked over and sat down beside him, attempting damage control. Are you really mad? This video just popped up in my feed randomly. I wasn't actively looking for it. Believe me. Chu Jinan lifted his eyes to look at her, his face expressionless. No, it's fine for you to look down on me. You should. It's my own fault for being useless. Chapter 24. I'll give you plenty of time to regret. No, I don't dislike you. The original owner didn't dislike him either. These videos were entirely for the original owner's own brainwashing. Otherwise, she wouldn't have done something so audacious. If it weren't for the sake of her own life, Song Yunfei would have been dying to tell him the truth. Chu Jinan sighed, draping the towel over the side. His messy hair fell casually over his forehead. He looked at Song Yunfei seriously. You don't need to explain. I'm not blaming you. ... I'd rather you did blame me. What? Nothing. What can I do to make you believe me? Chu Jinan stared at her intently without saying a word. In short, he just didn't believe her. Song Yunfei's heart thumped wildly. These days, she had finally managed to raise his favorability a little. It couldn't drop now. Gritting her teeth, she raised her hand and wrapped her arms around Chu Jinan's arm. I really don't dislike you. Chu Jinan lowered his gaze, glancing at the arm buried in her chest. Song Yunfei tugged at him. All right, don't be angry. Come sleep on the bed with me. This sofa must be so uncomfortable to sleep on. Chu Jinan remained motionless. Song Yunfei sighed inwardly. It seemed fate was sealed. He seemed to dislike her more and more. Filled with sorrow and indignation, she stood up, ready to return to the bed. Suddenly, her wrist was grabbed. She turned back in shock. Before she could see clearly, the world spun, and she fell onto the somewhat hard sofa. Immediately after, a tall figure loomed over her. In her panic, she saw the face suspended above her rapidly approaching as Chu Jinan pressed down on her. Song Yunfei instinctively squeezed her eyes shut. But several seconds passed with no movement. She slowly opened one eye, peeking at the man's face, now extremely close. Their breaths mingled back and forth. Song Yunfei's heart pounded like thunder. The distance between their lips was less than a centimeter. You, Song Yunfei began, uncertain and alarmed, unsure of what to say. As luck would have it, the neighbors started up again. The sofa was farther away, so it wasn't as clear as when in bed, but in this absolute silence, the faint, intermittent sounds were even more unbearable. Chu Jinan stared at her for a long time. He didn't speak, nor did he kiss her, leaving Song Yunfei's heart in turmoil. Just as she thought they would maintain this position all night, Chu Jinan finally spoke. "Don't worry, I'll give you plenty of time to regret." His voice carried a hint of hoarseness. "I don't object to you seeking a better choice. During this time, I will fulfill my responsibilities, and you needn't feel burdened." Quote. But why say it in this position? Song Yunfei stared into his pitch-black eyes for a moment, then said awkwardly, "Well then, can you get up first? You are crushing me, I can hardly breathe." Quote. Chu Jinan was silent for a while, then got up and released her. Song Yunfei also climbed up and sighed. To put it bluntly, he had still taken the video's words to heart. To put it even more bluntly, he truly had no feelings for her. Otherwise, what man could say such outrageous things to his girlfriend? Even a simp knows to guard their food. Song Yunfei still felt there was a chance to salvage the situation. She nodded. "Okay, if I regret it, I'll tell you." Chu Jinan responded indifferently. She picked up the hairdryer nearby and smiled. "But I haven't regretted it yet. I'm still your girlfriend, so let me dry your hair for you." After saying that, she stood up, plugged in the hairdryer, and began blowing his hair. Chu Jinan stood frozen in place. The hairdryer buzzed, warm air brushing through his half-dry, messy hair as her fingers ran through it. She stood very close. The faint scent of her shower gel lingered around his nose. He lowered his gaze. Within his line of sight was the hem of her clothes swaying with her movements, occasionally revealing glimpses of her fair waist. Before long, his hair was dry. Song Yunfei turned off the hairdryer. The room felt quiet as she casually smoothed the man's short hair. "There, now we can sleep. Get some rest early. You have work tomorrow." Chu Jinan remained silent, offering no response. Song Yunfei picked up the milk tea on the table and began sipping it leisurely. Since she'd already bought it, it would be a waste not to drink it. Chu Jinan turned to look at her. Song Yunfei picked up her phone. This time, she didn't dare swipe through videos again. Instead, she opened a drama to watch. Her hair was tucked behind her ear, revealing her fair profile. She bit the straw, watching the drama intently. Strands of her hair floated gently under the distant fan. The earlier exertion had been a bit much. A fine layer of sweat had formed again on her temples and neck. After finishing the entire cup of milk tea, Song Yunfei felt uncomfortably bloated. She let out a small burp and turned her head, only to find Chu Jinan still sitting beside her. "Why aren't you asleep yet?" Chu Jinan's gaze fell on her phone. "Watching the drama." Song Yunfei was surprised. "You watch this kind of idle drama too?" "MN." Song Yunfei grinned. "Then let's go lie on the bed to watch. It's actually pretty good." Chu Jinan's eyes remained fixed on the actors on the screen. He suddenly said, "This actress looks familiar." Song Yunfei was so startled by his words she almost dropped her phone. He was referring to the third female lead, a relatively unknown actress with probably less than 1 million followers online, not even as popular as some influencers. But her identity wasn't simple. If she remembered correctly, this should be the female lead's best friend, meaning the best friend of Chu Jinan's fiancé. Of course he would find her familiar. But to avoid alerting him, she feigned calm. Of course celebrities look familiar. Chu Jinan nodded in agreement. True. Song Yunfei secretly breathed a sigh of relief, put away her phone, and said, "All right, let's go lie on the bed first. I'm tired." Chu Jinan followed her to the bed. Song Yunfei wasn't planning to continue watching, but he said, "Turn that drama back on. Let's watch some more." Quote. "Let's not. You have work tomorrow." "What's the name of that drama?" Song Yunfei's lips twitched. Was he planning to watch it himself? That wouldn't do. So, she could only reopen the drama. "Don't go getting your own subscription. Let's just watch it together." Chu Jinan acknowledged. With only the bedside lamp on, the two leaned against the headboard and watched. To keep him from overthinking, whenever the third female lead appeared, Song Yun-fei started distracting him. This second male lead doesn't look like a good person. I think the second female lead framed her. This supporting character is quite handsome, almost as good as you. Chu Jinan didn't interrupt her, watching the drama as if she weren't there. I feel like this father-in-law is the bad one. In the end, he's definitely the mastermind behind. As she spoke, her voice trailed off. Chu Jinan felt a weight on his shoulder. Turning his head, he saw Song Yun-fei had already fallen asleep, leaning against him. Her phone had also fallen onto the bed. Chu Jinan picked up the phone, dragged the progress bar, and paused the frame on the face of that familiar actress. The white light illuminated his stern face. He watched quietly, as if in deep meditation, his gaze fixed on that image. Chapter 25. Rich people really know how to play. Song Yun-fei didn't know when she fell asleep, but the moment she woke up, she was startled. She suddenly scrambled to find her phone and saw it charging on the bedside table next to her, which made her slightly relieved. Chu Jinan was making breakfast in the kitchen as usual. During breakfast, she specifically observed Chu Jinan's expression and found nothing unusual. She had accidentally fallen asleep last night. She wondered how long Chu Jinan had watched, but he probably hadn't remembered who that actress was, right? After eating, the two went to work. Chu Jinan, as usual, took her on his electric bike, just as if nothing had happened last night. In the morning, Mr. Chow messaged her, saying he wanted to see a few more apartment layouts with her to compare them. Song Yun-fei naturally agreed happily. However, last time she rode her electric bike there, which made them a bit displeased. Although she managed to smooth things over, if she rode the electric bike again this time, the deal might fall through, right? The company also had cars, but as a newcomer, she couldn't drive them. They were usually monopolized by the older employees. Her idea was to rent a car, but the contract hadn't even been finalized yet, and spending thousands of yuan on a rental car was clearly an unwise choice. Suddenly, she thought of something, quickly picked up her phone, found Wu Wei's WeChat, and sent him a message asking if the Bentley he rented earlier had expired. About a few minutes later, Wu Wei sent a voice message. I rented it for half a month, there are still 7 or 8 days left. Sister Song, do you want to drive it? I'll bring it over to you. Song Yun-fei was overjoyed and quickly replied, okay, but no rush, I'll use it on Saturday. Although Wu Wei wasn't a good person, he was now intimidated by Chu Jinan's identity and could still be useful. Wu Wei was just wondering how to curry favor with Chu Jinan, so how could he miss this opportunity that presented itself? He had previously promised Third Wang to take photos but hadn't found an opportunity. Mainly, he didn't know where Chu Jinan worked, let alone where they lived. He hadn't been idle these past few days, constantly searching online for news about Chu Jinan. He actually found a few scattered reports of Chu Jinan's disappearance, but couldn't verify their authenticity. He didn't see many photos. To be precise, he couldn't find any photos of Chu Jinan at all, and any he found were fake. This was understandable. A CEO's disappearance would have too great an impact, so the Chu family would certainly try their best to conceal it. Firstly, they feared company or stock market instability, and secondly, they feared someone might encounter Chu Jinan outside and do something unfavorable to him. These few messages were merely stragglers that slipped through. In the first month after Chu Jinan disappeared, many rumors broke out, and the Chu family had been suppressing them. But with the machinations of certain individuals, a quick search could still bring them up. Now it's hard to find them, the buzz has long died down, and it's even difficult to search for the three characters, Chu Jinan. Song Yun-fei said she would use the car on Saturday, but he drove it over that afternoon. However, he only parked the car on the opposite side of the road, not daring to come to the sales office. Before, he had pretended to be a rich second generation and dated Xiu Shuang. Later, someone from their store saw him at the convenience store, where he was arguing with his dad. Then that scoundrel recorded the video and sent it to their group chat. Now that his identity was exposed, how could he possibly have the face to go in there? Song Yunfei received his message, immediately left the sales office, and went to the roadside opposite. She immediately saw the familiar Bentley. She knocked on the car window, which rolled down, revealing Wu Wei's somewhat lewd face. He smiled at Song Yunfei. "Sister Song, I've brought the car over for you." Song Yunfei looked inside. There was no one else in the car, only Wu Wei, which made her relax a little. "Didn't I say I'd use it on Saturday? Why did you bring it over now?" Wu Wei said, "It's all the same, isn't it? You can drive it first and just return it to me when you're done." Song Yunfei still shook her head. "Isn't this car rented by a few of you together? If you give the car to me, won't they complain?" Wu Wei said nonchalantly, "We're good brothers, we won't fuss over these things. I've already told them, so just drive it without worry." Song Yunfei hesitated for a moment, then asked, "Is this car expensive to refuel?" Wu Wei chuckled with a hint of smugness. "Absolutely, but don't worry, the tank is full. As long as you don't drive from morning till night, it'll last half a month without a problem." As he spoke, he opened the car door, got out, and tossed the car keys to Song Yunfei. "Here are the car keys." Song Yunfei quickly caught the keys. Before she could speak, Wu Wei leaned in mysteriously, and Song Yunfei immediately stepped back. Wu Wei laughed awkwardly, rubbing his hands as he asked, "Sister Song, has President Chu said anything about me these past few days?" Song Yunfei said, "Why would he talk about you? As long as you don't show up in front of him, he's probably already forgotten you." Wu Wei was relieved. That's good, that's good. By the way, how long does President Chu plan to play here? No, experience life here." Song Yunfei thought for a moment. If nothing unexpected happened, according to the timeline in the original work, it would probably be another year. About a year or so. Wu Wei clicked his tongue. Rich people really know how to play. "I'm not talking to you anymore. The sun is so strong out here, I'm going back to work." There wasn't much sun today, but it was exceptionally hot. It wasn't the scorching heat of ordinary days, but a muggy heat, like being in a steamer, not only hot, but also sticky. It felt like it was going to rain. Wu Wei smiled and waved at her. All right, goodbye, Sister Song. Let me know if you need any help." Song Yunfei also took the keys and returned to the store. Although Wu Wei brought the car, she didn't plan to drive it. If Chu Jinan saw it, he might overthink things again. This sensitive, insecure man, there's nothing for it. Song Yunfei secretly thought, once she saves enough money, she will definitely tell him the truth before running away. Provided she can actually save enough money within this year. Thinking about it, it seems a bit uncertain. So, Song Yunfei worked even harder at making calls. Chu Jinan said he had to work overtime tonight. Seeing that it was about to rain, Song Yunfei left work early and took the bus straight home. She bought a lot of groceries on the way and went into the kitchen to start cooking. Just as she finished steaming the rice and was about to wash the vegetables, there was a muffled thud from the water pipe below. Immediately after, a jet of water shot out from under the cutting board. Song Yunfei was startled and crouched down to check. Sure enough, the water pipe had burst. This house was too old. If it wasn't one thing breaking, it was another. Looking at the continuously spraying water, Song Yunfei ran out to find the toolbox. She took out a roll of tape and wrapped it around the damaged area, but it only held for 5 seconds. With a few sizzling sounds, the water jet shot out again, spraying her face and drenching her. Song Yunfei became anxious. If it kept spraying like this, the house would be flooded. It would be even more troublesome if it seeped downstairs. In a panic, she covered the pipe with one hand and fumbled for her phone in her pocket with the other. Chapter 26. I'll apply some medicine for you. She called the landlord first, but the landlord said it was too late and told her to handle it herself for now, and he would find someone to help her look at it tomorrow. Wait until tomorrow. By tomorrow, this house will be flooded. There was no other way. She could only call Chu Jinan. Chu Jinan was in the office, discussing the exhibition with President He. Seeing her call, he apologized to President He and went out to answer the phone. President He seemed to want to say something but held back, ultimately just sighing with a sense of exasperation. As soon as the call connected, Song Yunfei's anxious voice came through. Chu Jinan, the kitchen pipe burst. What do I do? Where did it burst? Near the wall. There's a big crack there. I don't even dare let go right now. Chu Jinan said in a deep voice, look for the main water valve. Shut off the water for the entire apartment first. The main valve, let me look. Song Yunfei was encountering this situation for the first time. In her previous life, she had also rented places, but never one thus dilapidated. She had absolutely no idea where things like valves were located. After rummaging through cabinets and drawers, she finally found something that looked like a valve under the cabinet on the other side of the counter. I found it. After saying that, she put her phone on the stovetop, fished a wrench out of the toolbox, and lay on the floor trying to turn the screw-like thing. What kind of terrible design is this? It won't budge at all. Song Yunfei wrestled with it for a long time. Besides turning her hand bright red, the switch remained completely unmoved. Right now, she wanted to beat up whoever installed the plumbing in this place. Chu Jinan also heard her words and called out into the phone, Song Yunfei. Song Yunfei crawled out from under the cabinet, picked up the phone, and said, what is it? I can't turn it. The kitchen is almost flooded. Chu Jinan said, if you can't turn it, then don't. I'm coming back right now. After hanging up, he turned and went back into the conference room. He said to President He, a water pipe burst at home. I need to go back immediately. I've written the general outline for the exhibition plan in the memo. We can discuss the details tomorrow. President He opened his mouth, wanting to ask, are you the boss, or am I the boss? But Chu Jinan didn't give him a chance to speak at all. He finished his piece and left. President He rubbed his balding head, sighed, and comforted himself, it's fine. Talented people are all this unruly and unrestrained. Just as Chu Jinan walked out of the factory area, it started to rain. It went from pea-sized raindrops to a torrential downpour in just 3 minutes. Visibility blurred. There were also many glaring headlights on the road. The lights mixed with the curtain of rain, distorting the view into a twisted mess. At a turn, suddenly blinding high beams shone towards him, along with the driver's urgent honking. Chu Jinan's pupils contracted slightly. Song Yunfei was pinching the pipe, but water still kept flowing out from between her fingers. Outside, it was also lightning and thunder, with fierce wind and heavy rain. She was a bit worried about Chu Jinan's safety. Riding an electric scooter in such heavy rain was too dangerous. She thought about calling Chu Jinan to tell him to come back after the rain eased up, but considering he was probably already on the way and wouldn't be able to answer the phone, she gave up. In the long wait, Song Yunfei's hands had already gone numb. She couldn't remember how many times she had switched hands back and forth. And Chu Jinan still hadn't returned. She grew more and more worried. Please don't let anything have happened. Finally, the sound of the door opening came from outside. Song Yunfei's heart leapt with joy, and she turned her head to look. She saw him completely drenched, water dripping from head to toe. His white shirt clung to his body, almost revealing the skin beneath the fabric. Chu Jinan didn't pause. He strode straight to the kitchen. Song Yunfei wasn't much better off. The water spraying from the pipe had long since soaked her completely. She was also wearing a white shirt. The pattern of her beige-colored bra was clearly visible beneath the sheer chiffon fabric. Seeing each other's drowned rat appearances, both of them were momentarily stunned. Chu Jinan only glanced at her a couple of times before stepping through the puddles on the floor to her side. He bent down and picked up the wrench from the toolbox. Why did you get so soaked? Couldn't you have waited for the rain to ease up before coming back? It started raining halfway. He took the wrench to the location of the main valve. The pipes had broken before, so Chu Jinan knew where the main valve was. He crouched down, felt for the valve, and fitted the wrench onto the screw. He gave it a couple of forceful turns, and soon heard a click. The valve was shut. Song Yunfei also felt the water pressure against her palm disappear. Chu Jinan pushed himself up using his knees. The wet shirt outlined the contours of his lean, strong physique. Song Yunfei stared for a moment, but quickly noticed the injury on his elbow. It looked like a scrape. His shirt was also torn a bit there. She quickly stood up, went to Chu Jinan's side, and took his arm to examine it. What happened to your hand? She wanted to push up his sleeve to check further, but he pulled his hand back. It's nothing. Let's deal with the water first. Chu Jinan tossed out this dismissive comment and turned to get tools to handle the accumulated water. Song Yunfei watched his back, swallowing the words that had come to her lips. She silently picked up a broom and started sweeping away the water. In the cramped kitchen, the atmosphere was strangely quiet. Both of them silently cleared the water, neither speaking. Song Yunfei's gaze kept drifting involuntarily towards Chu Jinan, looking at his sharply defined profile, the lines of his arms, and the scrape that was oozing blood. He got hurt because he rushed back to help her. She didn't know what happened to him on the road. Did he fall, or did something else happen? Was it very dangerous? If she had known it would rain, she wouldn't have made that call to Chu Jinan. This sense of responsibility from Chu Jinan gave her an inexplicable feeling of burden. Soon, the two of them had cleared the water from the room. The floor was as clean as if it had been washed. Outside, the rain was still falling, accompanied by thunder and lightning from time to time. Chu Jinan looked at her. You go change your clothes first. Song Yunfei nodded, found a set of clothes, and went to the bathroom to change. The water valve was off, so she couldn't take a shower, or even wash vegetables. She changed quickly and came out. This time, she caught Chu Jinan changing his clothes. Although she only saw his back, that solid, smoothly muscled back, broad shoulders, and narrow waist made her swallow saliva despite herself. This was much better looking than the suggestive content in videos. Unfortunately, she only got a couple of glances before the beautiful sight was covered by a white t-shirt. After putting on the short sleeves, the scrape on his arm became even more obvious. Besides the scrape on his elbow, his forearm was also reddened. Although it wasn't bleeding, the skin was broken, and it looked painful. Song Yunfei went to the room again and brought out the first aid kit. Looking inside, she saw it had basic medicines. She took Chu Jinan's arm and led him towards the sofa. Come here, I'll apply some medicine for you. Chu Jinan let himself be led to the sofa and sat down. He also glanced sideways at the injury on his arm, not paying it much mind. It's just a minor injury. No need. Song Yunfei took out the iodine and cotton swabs on her own. It still needs to be treated. What if it gets infected? Holding the cotton swab, she took Chu Jinan's arm with her other hand and carefully disinfected his wound. Does it hurt? Song Yunfei lifted her face to look at him. No, he stared at Song Yunfei, his expression still impassive. Song Yunfei stared into his calm, unrippling eyes and suddenly thought, since she transmigrated here, she had never once seen him smile. Not just during this time since she arrived. Even in the original host's memories, she hadn't seen him smile. She couldn't imagine at all what he would look like if he smiled. Are you very unhappy? Song Yunfei couldn't help but ask. Chu Jinan was puzzled. Why do you ask that? It seems like I've never seen you smile. Chapter 27. What a spendthrift man. Chu Jinan was slightly stunned by the question, his eyes appearing deeper under the light. After a moment of silence, he looked away and spoke flatly, living like this, what is there to smile about? Song Yunfei opened her mouth, suddenly finding herself speechless. Her hand gripping the cotton swab tightened as a strong impulse surged in her heart, but she quickly suppressed it. She couldn't joke with her own life. If she hadn't read in the novel how brutal he became after recovering his memories, Song Yunfei might have softened and told him the truth. Right now, he wasn't the real Chu Jinan. Song Yunfei lowered her head and continued cleaning his wound, saying, everything will get better. Isn't there a saying? Don't ignore the happiness of the present because of what might happen in the future. Besides, don't you still have me? No matter what, I'll stay with you. Song Yunfei felt quite guilty saying this, along with a deep sense of sin. If it weren't for her, who knows how well he would be living right now. She felt like a human trafficker who had sold someone and then had to coax them into counting the money for her. Chu Jinan looked down at her without saying a word, and the room fell silent once again. Song Yunfei quickly finished treating his wound, then got up and went to the kitchen to make instant noodles. Since she couldn't cook dinner tonight, she had to make do with instant noodles. The two sat on the sofa, each holding a cup of instant noodles. Song Yunfei looked at the empty wall in front of her and sighed, it would be great if there was a TV. Every time I sit here, I feel like something is missing. Chu Jinan glanced at her, then looked away and lowered his head to eat his noodles. The next day, the weather cleared up. It had rained last night, so it wasn't as hot in the morning. Song Yunfei headed out early. After harassing a bunch of people over the phone, Song Yunfei received a call just as she was about to get off work in the afternoon. Hello, is this Song Yunfei? Song Yunfei thought it was a client and responded enthusiastically, yes, that's me. Are you looking to buy a house? The person on the other end laughed twice. I'm here to install home appliances. When will you be free? Home appliances. Song Yunfei was shocked. She didn't seem to have bought any appliances. She quickly asked, what appliances? The person said, it's a TV. Song Yunfei's heart stirred as she suddenly remembered the casual remark she made last night. Instead of rushing to confirm a time, she asked, how much is it? Can it be returned? I'm just the delivery guy. I don't know how much it cost. If you want to return it, you'll have to contact the merchant. All right then. Song Yunfei hung up and went to the restroom to call Chu Jinan. It had been a long time since she had called Chu Jinan during work hours. Seeing her caller ID, Chu Jinan was momentarily stunned, but remembering something, he casually picked up the phone. Song Yunfei asked, did you buy the TV? Yeah, has it been delivered? No, why did you buy a TV? How much did it cost? Where did you get the money? Song Yunfei fired off a barrage of questions, but Chu Jinan only chose to answer the first one. I'm going to Y City for an exhibition this weekend. You can watch TV if you're bored at home. Song Yunfei said, watch what TV? I'm taking Mr. Chow to see houses on Saturday. Hurry up and return it, don't waste money. There was a 2-second silence on the other end before Chu Jinan's voice came again. It can't be returned. Song Yunfei got anxious. Why can't it be returned? It hasn't even been unpacked. Talk to the merchant. It's a discounted flow model, a clearance item. No returns or exchanges. Song Yunfei didn't know what to say. Chu Jinan spoke again, I'm still in a meeting and will be working late tonight. Go back early on your own. Song Yunfei looked at the disconnected call and muttered to herself, what a spendthrift man. But where did he get the money? Wasn't his salary card with her? Chu Jinan hung up and looked up to see manager He staring at him speechlessly. Manager He couldn't quite hold it in. You asked me for an advance on your salary just to buy a TV for your girlfriend. Chu Jinan said, and an air conditioner and a washing machine. Quote. Manager, his mouth twitched. You kid, I only gave you the advance because I saw you were honest. But because he said it so bluntly, manager, he almost coughed up blood in frustration. Song Yunfei also left work early today. Before leaving, she confirmed the time with the delivery person so it would be installed just as she got back. Since it couldn't be returned, what else could she do? Just install it. When she got home, the delivery men, 2 of them, were right at the door, having arrived 5 minutes before her. She opened the door and let them in to install the TV. Then she went to contact the landlord to ask when the plumber he found would arrive. The landlord gave her a contact number, and Song Yunfei reached out herself. After finishing the conversation with the plumber, another call came in. Is this Song Yunfei? I'm delivering home appliances. Are you home now? Song Yunfei looked back at the people still installing the TV and asked blankly, what are you delivering? An air conditioner. She was completely bewildered. Is it another discounted flow model? The person answered without hesitation, yes, it can't be returned. Song Yunfei's mouth twitched. How did he know she wanted to return it? He'd even learned to anticipate her questions. Chu Jinan must have given them a heads up. This man really. Song Yunfei didn't know what to do for a moment. After a brief moment of thought, she said into the phone, I'm at home now. Just bring it over. Since Chu Jinan had bought it, there was no need for her to keep nitpicking. After all, it was out of his good intentions. If this could make him feel better. Just as the TV was installed, the air conditioner delivery arrived, another 2 people. Not long after, she received another call. It was the washing machine delivery. Song Yunfei was already numb and told them to bring it straight up. Half an hour later, there were 5 large men in the house. 4 were installing appliances, and 1 was a plumber. She sat cross-legged on the sofa with her chin in her hands, watching them work. Her mood became increasingly complex. Initially, Chu Jinan was just a stranger she knew everything about in the eyes of the original owner. But gradually, she felt that this person was seeping into her life bit by bit. Forget about the original owner not being able to handle it, even she was starting to find it hard to resist. Growing up, Song Yunfei had never met a man like him. She was in a daze and didn't even notice when the installation workers left. By the time she snapped out of it, it was completely dark outside. She picked up the remote on the table and turned on the TV. Surprisingly, as soon as the sound from the TV started, the house instantly felt like a home. She then threw yesterday's clothes into the washing machine and turned on the air conditioner. The sense of domestic life grew even stronger, bringing a feeling of peace and warmth. She sat cross-legged on the sofa, quietly listening to the sound of the washing machine spinning, accompanied by the sound of the TV. For a moment, Song Yunfei felt as if she had returned to the time when her parents were still around. She would be leaning over the table doing homework with the TV on nearby, the washing machine spinning on the balcony, her mom cooking in the kitchen, and her dad tidying up the house. But when the illusion vanished, only boundless loneliness and darkness remained. The false liveliness only made the silence in the room more pronounced. Suddenly, she seemed to understand Chu Jinan's feelings. A strange place, no family or friends, no past, only blank memories and loneliness. The only person by his side was someone he disliked. Disliking each other, yet forced to depend on one another, tormenting each other while being unable to separate. Chapter 28. Good men are never on the market. He claimed he wouldn't oppose her seeking a better option, that he could let go freely at any time. But judging from his various actions, it wasn't hard to see that even if he resisted the original owner internally, he was still doing everything possible to keep her. It wasn't that he was magnanimous, it was simply the only method available to him. He lacked the confidence to forcibly keep her and had no reason to make her pay for his own failed life. Rather than trying to retain her, it was more about retaining the meaning of his own existence. However, this was all Song Yun-fei's speculation, but it probably wasn't far from the truth. Song Yun-fei sighed and stood up from the sofa. She went to the kitchen to finish cooking. The laundry was almost done. She took out the clean clothes, shook them out one by one, and hung them on the balcony to dry. Although she couldn't tell him the truth for now, she could at least let him see a tidy home, smell the aroma of food, and feel a trace of genuine peace when putting on clean clothes. At that moment, Chu Jinan returned. Pushing the door open and entering, he saw a figure hanging clothes on the balcony. The evening breeze brushed past, carrying the fresh scent of laundry detergent mixed with the aroma of food from the kitchen, quietly drifting towards him. This scene was completely different from the messy, somewhat oppressive atmosphere he remembered in this rented apartment. Song Yun-fei seemed to hear the movement. After hanging the last piece of clothing, she turned around and smiled at him. "You're back. Perfect timing. Dinner is ready. Go wash your hands." Chu Jinan was silent for a moment, then gave an "MHM", pulled the key from the door, and walked in. His gaze swept across the room, finally landing on the woman in the kitchen. She was wearing a loose, off-white t-shirt with matching shorts. Her hair was casually tied into a bun on top of her head, with a few stray strands hanging by her neck. She busily brought out the bowls, chopsticks, and dishes. Muttering, she said, "This air conditioner is fantastic. I don't even feel hot while cooking. The washing machine too. No more hand washing from now on. It'll save a lot of time every day." Chu Jinan watched her moving lips, silently changed his shoes, and went to the bathroom to wash his hands. The air conditioner was on inside, banishing the usual oppressive heat. The cool air carried a fragrant scent, creating an indescribable sense of tranquility. The two sat at the table, which held two dishes in a soup, egg-wrapped tofu, stir-fried cucumber with ham, and cabbage tofu soup. Song Yun-fei handed him the chopsticks and asked with a smile, "Where did you manage to find so many discounted appliances?" Chu Jinan casually brushed it off. "A shop behind the factory went out of business. Everything was on clearance." "I see. How much did you spend?" 3,000. The boss advanced my salary." Song Yun-fei didn't press further and even gave him a thumbs up. "You really know how to manage life. So, will you still get paid this month?" "Yes, but not next month." Song Yun-fei nodded. "Then after dinner, we need to plan next month's expenses carefully." Chu Jinan glanced at her. Previously, Song Yun-fei never bothered with such calculations. If money ran short, she'd borrow from online lenders herself. Once her own credit was exhausted, she'd make Chu Jinan take out loans. A phrase she often said was, "Eat what you want, spend what you want. What's there to fear about a little debt? We'll have plenty of money later anyway." Of course, Chu Jinan naturally refused to borrow from online lenders, otherwise appliances like these would have been acquired long ago. After dinner, Song Yun-fei sat cross-legged on the sofa, pen and notebook in hand, starting to calculate expenses. Chu Jinan sat beside her, cooperating with her calculations. The sound of the TV echoed in the room but didn't hinder their conversation. Song Yun-fei asked him, "Are you still getting 3,500 this month?" Chu Jinan nodded. "MHM. The food delivery job brings in 2,000. It should all be in the card." "Good. I'll go withdraw it another day." His salary card wasn't linked to a phone, so every time they needed money, they had to go to the bank to withdraw it. "So that's 5,500 total. We'll leave 1,000 for you." Chu Jinan said, "500 is enough." Song Yun-fei looked at him. "Is 500 enough for you?" Chu Jinan nodded. "It's enough." "All right then, that leaves us with 5,000. After rent and utilities of 1,500, and if we run the air conditioner, let's budget 2,000. 1,000 for groceries, and another 500 for occasional transportation and phone fees. Song Yunfei revealed a smile. We still have 1,500 left. Chu Jinan thought for a moment. Then let's go buy your 2 sets of clothes. Song Yunfei was taken aback. You just reminded me. Aren't you running business errands now? We should buy you a couple of suits. Chu Jinan was about to say something, but Song Yunfei cut him off first. Don't worry about this. I'll look online for you. Song Yunfei didn't need to buy clothes at all, she had plenty. In contrast, Chu Jinan, including sleepwear, only had 6 sets total, 3 for summer and 2 for winter. He kept wearing the same few outfits. His pants were almost washed white. If it rained in winter, he'd have no clothes to change into for a week. If he weren't the CEO of the Yunjin Group but just an ordinary man, Song Yunfei would definitely hold on to him for dear life. That's why they say good men are never on the market, unless someone is blind. Of course, the same goes for women. After finishing the calculations, Song Yunfei felt that in such a small place, as long as they didn't spend recklessly, Chu Jinan's salary was completely sufficient. Putting away the notebook, Song Yunfei got up to take a shower. The water pipe burst last night, so she couldn't shower. She felt uncomfortable all over. Chu Jinan, meanwhile, picked up the notebook from the table and flipped through it. Seeing the handwriting, he frowned slightly. Although Song Yunfei didn't write much, he had seen her handwriting a few times. It seemed somewhat different from what was on the page. But too much time had passed. He couldn't pinpoint exactly where the difference lay, and couldn't recall it in a short time. After her shower, Song Yunfei felt refreshed and clear-headed. With the air conditioner, even her mood had improved a lot. Now she finally wouldn't be woken up by the heat in the middle of the night. But didn't Brother Wang say he was going to the big city? When is he leaving? Around 1 in the morning, Song Yunfei, who had just fallen asleep and been rudely awakened, asked with utter despair. The man beside her didn't respond. She thought he had fallen asleep. But after a few seconds, she heard his voice. He said next month. Song Yunfei fumbled for her phone, turned it on, and checked the date. The 28th, 3 more days of suffering. Sighing, she put down her phone. A minute later, she sat up again. Chu Jinan, do you want to watch TV? Chu Jinan pondered briefly, didn't speak, but sat up from the bed and turned on the bedside lamp. With tacit understanding, they both got out of bed, walked to the sofa, sat down, and turned on the TV. Song Yunfei held the remote, browsing channels. Damn it, everything required a membership. After searching around, she only found a free cartoon called Big Ear Tutu. She indignantly clicked on it and turned up the volume, which just happened to drown out the noise from across the way. Suddenly, a jacket was draped over her shoulders. Song Yunfei was startled and turned to look at Chu Jinan. He said casually, "You just recovered from your illness. Don't catch a chill again." Chapter 29, Holding Each Other. Thank you. Song Yunfei smiled, pulling the jacket tighter around herself. He was probably afraid she would get sick again, and then he'd have to take care of her, delaying his trip to the exhibition. Thinking of the exhibition, Song Yunfei suddenly asked, "By the way, that exhibition of yours, is it big? Will there be a lot of people going?" Chu Jinan, watching the cartoon on TV, said calmly, "Not small. It's an international exhibition. Quite a few companies in the industry should be attending." Hearing it was an international exhibition made Song Yunfei even more nervous. Then, will there be people from all over the country? Pretty much. Song Yunfei's heart grew uneasy. Given the original owner's personality, she definitely wouldn't have let him go. With so many people around, it would be easy for someone who knew them to show up. But she couldn't bring herself to tell Chu Jinan not to go. The company had probably already made arrangements. Even if she threw a tantrum, Chu Jinan would agree, but it would only make things difficult for him. An idea suddenly struck Song Yunfei. Then, can I go? Chu Jinan finally turned his head to look at her. Don't you have work? Aren't you going on the weekend? How many days is it? Chu Jinan pondered for a moment. 3 days, I think. Song Yunfei fell silent for a while. With the 2 weekend days included, she would only need to ask for 2 days off. Manager Zhang Tao usually didn't care much about leave requests. Just giving him a heads up would be enough. She wouldn't even need to write a formal request. Song Yunfei wrapped her arm around his, adopting a slightly wheedling tone. Let me go. I'm getting sick of work these days. Making calls every day, getting scolded every day. I want to go and relax a bit. Chu Jinan lowered his gaze, looking at her pleading expression. After a moment of silence, he finally nodded. All right. Song Yunfei's face instantly lit up with joy. You are the best. Should I go with you directly, or go by myself? Either way. You're probably going with your colleagues, right? You go ahead first. I'll come over after I show Mr. Chow the house. Otherwise, it wouldn't look good if your colleagues saw us together. Be careful on your own then. Song Yunfei gave an okay sign. Don't worry, I'm not a kid anymore. Since she couldn't stop him from attending, she would just tag along. That way, if any unexpected situations arose, she could handle them. After 3 episodes of the cartoon finished, the noise from next door had already quieted down. The two returned to bed and lay down. With the air conditioner on, it got a bit cold, so they needed to cover themselves with a blanket. There was only one blanket. Each occupied one half, leaving a wide gap in the middle. That's how it was before they fell asleep. Upon waking up, Song Yunfei looked at the face right in front of her, feeling slightly awkward. The awkwardness wasn't hers alone. Chu Jinan, who was also staring wide-eyed back at her, shared the sentiment. Their current position was, her head was resting on Chu Jinan's arm, her hand was wrapped around the man's waist. Chu Jinan had one arm draped over her back. They were holding each other. After a bizarrely quiet minute, they simultaneously let go and sat up in silence. I'll go make breakfast. With that, Chu Jinan got out of bed and headed to the bathroom. Song Yunfei got out of bed, picked up the remote to turn off the air conditioner, and took clothes out of the closet to change. For the entire morning, the two didn't speak again. They ate breakfast in silence, left the house in silence, and rode the electric bike to work in silence. Since they started using the air conditioner, for the next 3 days, they woke up almost every morning in this position. The awkwardness had left them not speaking for several mornings. Until Saturday morning, when Song Yunfei woke up in Chu Jinan's arms. She rubbed her nose and said softly, I think, we shouldn't turn on the air conditioner at night anymore. It uses too much electricity. Before, when it was too hot, they would sometimes hold each other, but would quickly separate due to the heat. Waking up the next morning, they would still be far apart, avoiding this kind of awkwardness. Now, with the air conditioner on, it got cold in the latter half of the night, and unconsciously, they ended up holding each other. Chu Jinan grunted in agreement, getting out of bed to put on his shoes. Set the timer for 3 a.m. Song Yunfei responded softly, okay. He had to meet up with General Manager He early, so there was no time for breakfast. He changed clothes and went out. Song Yunfei also bought breakfast for herself outside, then went to the company to get the car and drove around for a bit. Around 9:30, she went to Mr. Chow's house. This time, seeing the car she drove, the couple was noticeably much happier. Mrs. Chow sighed, I never imagined, little Song, you're so young but already driving a luxury car. Song Yunfei laughed, this is the company's car. How could I afford it? Mrs. Chow's face still wore a smile, but she felt much more balanced inside. You're still young, you'll be able to buy one sooner or later. I hear people in your line of work make a lot of money. Then she asked, if we buy a house, how much commission can you get? Looking at the smile on Mrs. Chow's face, Song Yunfei felt it wasn't very friendly. She understood this feeling all too well. If she explicitly stated how much commission she could get, Mrs. Chow would definitely feel she was losing out, as if Song Yunfei were making a huge profit off her. Song Yunfei gave a helpless smile. Mrs. Chow, to be honest, I really can't answer that question. The exact commission amount depends on many factors. It's not a fixed amount for every sale. For a property like the one you two are looking at, since it sells well and isn't hard to move, the commission we get is actually very little. Although she didn't find out how much commission Song Yunfei could get, hearing that the property was selling well gave Mrs. Chow a sense of urgency. She asked again, then how many units of this property have been sold? Song Yunfei said, about 60% so far. Mrs. Chow nodded and didn't ask anything else. Then let's go take another look. After all, it was a small county town, and the project was still under construction. 60% was already quite high. Song Yunfei invited the couple into the car and drove them to continue viewing houses. Last time they only saw one floor plan and visited 5 buildings. This time they wanted to see other floor plans too. It looked like they were in for a lot of running around. These two had done their homework when it came to buying a house. There were many professional terms Song Yunfei almost didn't understand. But Song Yunfei hadn't been idle these days either. She had also done a lot of homework. She managed to handle all the questions Mrs. Chow raised. It was just a pity that after viewing everything, Mrs. Chow still said she needed to go back and think it over. What could Song Yunfei do? She could only smile and agree, then see them off home. With no time to waste, Song Yunfei drove back to the rental, hastily packed a few pieces of clothing, got in the car, and headed straight for the high-speed rail station. City wasn't far. Driving on the highway took about 2 hours. Taking the high-speed rail required a detour, taking over 3, nearly 4 hours. By now, Chu Jinan had already arrived at the hotel with General Manager He and the others. Hu Yao, dragging her suitcase, came up to Chu Jinan. Chu Jinan, do you want to go out for a stroll tonight? 4 people came this time: General Manager He, Chu Jinan, a business manager named Wang Qiang, a pillar of the company, and lastly, this Hu Yao. Not going, Chu Jinan refused bluntly. Hu Yao wasn't discouraged. Her eyes darted. There's a very famous ancient culture street here. They sell all sorts of little trinkets girls like. Don't you plan to buy a gift for your girlfriend? If you go back empty-handed, aren't you afraid she'll be unhappy? Chu Jinan paused mid-step and turned to look at Hu Yao. Chapter 30. Keeping a close eye on Chu Jinan. Chu Jinan said, you can give me the address, I'll go by myself. Upon hearing this, Hu Yao was momentarily stunned before breaking into a smile. Sure, no problem, I'll send it to you in a bit. Even if he wouldn't go with her, couldn't she still arrange a chance encounter? Seeing that even though he had come out, he still maintained such a sense of distance, Hu Yao found herself liking him even more. She didn't think there was anything shameful about poaching someone else's partner. She simply felt that Chu Jinan's girlfriend was completely unworthy of him. A good man deserved a better half. Moreover, she always felt this man was a dark horse who would surely strike it big in the future. Manager He and Wang Qiang were walking at the very front. Hearing the conversation between the two behind them, Manager He shook his head inwardly. Although he felt Hu Yao's blatant intentions were quite unethical, it was their private business after all, so Manager He couldn't say much. Once inside the hotel room, Chu Jinan took out his phone. Song Yunfei had just sent him a message. It was a photo of the high-speed rail station. Song Yunfei had already arrived. He had told Song Yunfei to message him half an hour before arriving because the hotel was a bit far from the station, taking over 20 minutes by car. Chu Jinan got the car keys from Manager He and set off for the station 40 minutes early. After Song Yunfei got off the train, she saw the man standing in the plaza outside as soon as she excited. She ran over joyfully. Chu Jinan. Chu Jinan turned to look. Song Yunfei had her hair in a bun and was wearing a white dress paired with a chiffon cardigan and white sneakers. As she ran toward him, the hem of her dress fluttered in the wind, and the silver threads on her clothes seemed to shimmer in the sunlight. Chu Jinan took the luggage from her hand. Why did you bring a suitcase? Song Yunfei grinned. A change of clothes. I saw you left in such a hurry this morning that you didn't bring anything, so I brought your toiletries too. Chu Jinan nodded, put the suitcase in the trunk, and led her into the car. It was around 2 in the afternoon, and Song Yunfei hadn't eaten yet. Chu Jinan took her to find a restaurant for a meal and then brought her back to the hotel. Since they had to go to the exhibition hall to set up the booth in the afternoon, Song Yunfei went along as well. When Hu Yao saw Song Yunfei, her expression was quite a sight. A surge of irritation stuck in her throat. She said with a smile, you certainly keep a close eye on Chu Jinan, chasing him all the way here. Song Yunfei was taken aback for a moment. Seeing Hu Yao's face, she searched her memories and found this woman. The original owner had gone to the factory to find Chu Jinan many times before, and on several occasions, this Hu Yao had been making snide remarks and even trying to drive a wedge between them right in front of Chu Jinan. Song Yunfei grabbed Chu Jinan's arm and responded with a smile, of course. He's traveled so far, but if some improper woman tries to seduce him? Hu Yao naturally understood the insinuation and chuckled. We're here to work, not for a vacation. Besides, if a man wants to cheat, keeping a close eye on him won't help. The conversation was getting a bit heated. Song Yunfei wanted to snap back, but manager he hurriedly interjected, all right, that's enough from you two. We're here for business. Let's head to the exhibition hall first. Song Yunfei didn't feel like wasting words on Hu Yao either. She clung to Chu Jinan's arm and said, I'll help you, dear. Chu Jinan was momentarily stunned by the endearment. Hu Yao, on the other hand, just rolled her eyes. Manager he coughed twice to hide the awkwardness and told Wang Qiang and Hu Yao to get in the car quickly. They had brought 2 vehicles this time, one of which was a cargo van. Manager he didn't want to be a third wheel to their public displays of affection, so he had Chu Jinan and Song Yunfei ride in the cargo van. After arriving at the exhibition hall, the group of 4 began moving things. The hall was massive. It was said that thousands of merchants were participating. The exhibition wouldn't officially open until tomorrow, but it was already crowded today with staff setting up booths. Seeing so many people, Song Yunfei felt nervous and uneasy. She scanned the surroundings to see if anyone was noticing Chu Jinan. Fortunately, from the afternoon until the hall closed in the evening, no one paid them any mind. Only a few old acquaintances of manager he and Wang Qiang came over to say hello, but they didn't know Chu Jinan. The original owner had pushed Chu Jinan to join this factory precisely because the chances of meeting acquaintances in this industry were low. It seemed she had been right. By the time they finished setting up the booth and left the hall, it was already 9:30 p.m. Manager he treated everyone to dinner, but the atmosphere at the table wasn't great. They finished quickly and returned to the hotel. At the hotel entrance, Chu Jinan took Song Yunfei's hand. I'll take you somewhere. Song Yunfei asked curiously, where to? Chu Jinan didn't say anything, just led her away by the hand. They went to the very cultural street Hu Yao had mentioned. It wasn't far, about a 10-minute walk. The buildings here were in a traditional style, and there were still many people out at this hour. The entire street was brightly lit. Is this a night market street? Song Yunfei looked at the shops on both sides. They sold everything, though snacks were the most common. Chu Jinan nodded. Take a look and see if there's anything you want to buy. Song Yunfei had just eaten and didn't really want food. However, her gaze was drawn to the stalls selling small goods. The items at the stalls selling handmade accessories and cultural creative products looked quite nice. Song Yunfei suddenly stopped at a stall for braided hand ropes. The stall owner was a middle-aged woman in her 40s who was teaching a couple how to braid bracelets. Seeing Song Yunfei and Chu Jinan stop in front of the stall, the woman smiled and said, "Beautiful lady, handsome young man, why not take a look at the hand ropes? You can braid them yourselves. How about braiding one for each other? It makes for a very meaningful souvenir." Song Yunfei was tempted, but she still turned to look at Chu Jinan, seeking his opinion. Chu Jinan met her gaze and then turned to the owner. "How do we braid them?" "It's simple. There are videos here, and if you don't understand, I can teach you. It only takes a few minutes to finish one." Song Yunfei hurriedly asked, "How much for one?" The woman said, "It's not expensive, 20 yuan each. You can choose any materials you like from here." Before Song Yunfei could say anything, Chu Jinan had already taken out his phone to pay. She looked at Chu Jinan meaningfully and joked, "You're so quick to pay. Are you hiding a secret stash of money?" Chu Jinan replied, 40 yuan counts as a secret stash." Song Yunfei blinked. "I guess that's true." She didn't dwell on it further and pulled Chu Jinan to sit down on the small stools nearby, waiting for the other couple to finish. There was a tablet on the table with over a dozen videos, all of which were tutorials for braiding hand ropes. She swiped through the tablet and picked out a hand rope that suited Chu Jinan well, black with gold, called Turning the Tide. "I'll make this one for you, how about it?" she said, pointing to a sample on the stall. Chu Jinan's gaze lingered on the black hand rope for 2 seconds before he gave a slight nod. "Sure." Song Yunfei then pointed to a red hand rope. "I want this one with the gold ingot. I hope I can strike it rich."